Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's head outside and take a quick look outside our weather window from this afternoon. And wow, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, low-hanging clouds and cold, and then that snow last night. Today, a lot of blue skies, even up north. This is our look from our Billy Goat Sky-Fi Tower camera. That's up in Okanagan County. You can just barely see Pateros and Brewster in your shot there, but you can see the white as well. So snow fell to our north. In Wenatchee, we picked anywhere between 1 and 3 inches of snow out of that storm system last night. And a bit of a break today before we get to Friday, because that's our next round of wetness. I don't think it'll be so much snow for us here in the Wenatchee Valley, mainly just rain showers, because you could tell by today our temperatures are warming up, but not ruling out lots of snow in the Cascades. So if you are traveling that way, be extra careful. And as we get into the upcoming weekend, tell you what, not much is going to change on this final weekend of the fall. We'll see some heavy mountain snow on Saturday into Sunday. Also, it could get a little bit windy in the Columbia Basin. And here in the Wenatchee Valley, we will see plenty of rain, and that could cause some rapid snowmelt and some rising rivers. We will talk more about that coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Grant County reported an additional 8 COVID-19 deaths on Wednesday, 5 of whom were residents of long-term care facilities. Sheriff Tony Hawley says there have been another COVID-19 positive result among inmates at the Okanagan County Jail. And the Chelan Douglas Health District has released new COVID-19 data on long-term care facilities. But first, we begin tonight. Confluence health workers began receiving the area's first COVID-19 vaccines early this morning. First in line at 5:45 a.m. were physical therapist and COVID-19 team member Dave Hasse, ICU nurses Todd Avis and Ashley Everidge, and then Elizabeth Cabrera, a housekeeper in the COVID-19 unit at Central Washington Hospital. The hospital received 975 doses of the Pfizer vaccine on Thursday, with frontline healthcare employees the immediate priority for those vaccines. Grant County reported an additional 8 COVID-19 deaths yesterday, 5 of whom were residents of long-term care facilities. 3 of the most recent deaths were residents of McKay Healthcare and Rehab, that's in Soap Lake. That facility has had 11 deaths in the past month. There also was another death at Lake Ridge Center in Moses Lake, bringing that facility's total now to 16. Columbia Crest Center, also in Moses Lake, recorded its 9th death. All the newest deaths at senior care facilities involve people with underlying health conditions, with 3 in their 80s and 2 in their 90s. The other Grant County deaths were a Moses Lake woman in her 50s who had no underlying health issues, and a Moses Lake man in his 70s and Beverly man in his 60s, both of whom had other health issues. Grant County has now reported 73 deaths from COVID-19. Well, Sheriff Tony Hawley says there's been another COVID-19 positive result among inmates at the Okanagan County Jail. Last week, 11 inmates and 4 employees at the jail tested positive for the virus. Hawley says after that discovery, testing was offered to 70 more inmates, but only 22 agreed, yielding the 1 positive result. Results are still pending for 10 more inmates' tests given, and those were happening yesterday. Well, the Chelan Douglas Health District has released new COVID-19 data on long-term care facilities. Right now, 11 care homes in the Wenatchee Valley have infections among residents or staff, including 12 positive tests among residents and 5 among staff members in the last week. 4 residents are currently hospitalized with the disease, and the district says 21 of the region's 38 deaths from coronavirus have occurred among care center residents. Coming up next, the killer of Jill Marie Sundberg failed today to get his case overturned. A Wenatchee man is accused of choking his partner and breaking her finger in an act of domestic violence. A Wenatchee man found sleeping in his car last year with heroin, oxycodone, methamphetamine, and a loaded pistol was sentenced yesterday to 6.5 years in prison. And snow days are going to look a lot different for Wenatchee school kids during this pandemic. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Welcome back. In another news, the killer of Jill Marie Sundberg failed today to get his case overturned. The State Court of Appeals says the murder conviction and life sentence for Gustavo Tapia Rodriguez will stand. Tapia killed the 31-year-old Sundberg in 2016 in an execution-style murder outside Vantage. He was convicted by a Grant County jury last year. 2 other men pleaded guilty as accomplices. The men were involved in a drug gang led by Tapia, who came to believe Sundberg was acting as a police informant. A Wenatchee man is accused of choking his partner and breaking her finger in an act of domestic violence. 30-year-old Hank J. Schoenmakers allegedly attacked the woman back in June, but wasn't charged until last month when Chelan County prosecutors filed a count of second-degree assault. Wenatchee police say Schoenmakers grabbed the victim in a chokehold and broke her finger trying to pry her car keys out of her hand. He was summoned to his first appearance in court yesterday. Meanwhile, a Wenatchee man found sleeping in his car last year with heroin, oxycodone, methamphetamine, and a loaded pistol was sentenced yesterday to 6.5 years in prison. 30-year-old Jared Andrew Nedro has been in jail since his arrest on October 12th when Wenatchee police found him slumped behind the wheel of a parked and running Subaru at a McKittrick Street apartment complex. In the car, he had nearly 2 ounces of heroin, an ounce of methamphetamine, 58 oxycodone pills, and a .25 caliber pistol. Nedro pleaded guilty Wednesday to charges of drug possession with intent to deliver, plus unlawful firearm possession. He has multiple prior convictions for similar crimes. Snow days are going to look a lot different for Wenatchee school kids during the pandemic. The Wenatchee School District says when weather requires buildings to be closed this year, all students will learn online rather than skipping a day of instruction. Right now, most students are attending classes by Zoom, but some students have been readmitted to school buildings for hybrid in-person learning, mostly in the lower grade levels. All students and parents are asked to be prepared to transition between hybrid and online learning during the winter months. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, you know, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
My name is NISSAN, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because when it came back, both of my parents went to Dr. Davis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, when you're really passionate about something, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth, they're always so shocked. Like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Davis. Please call us today.
Here's to 5 billion miles of amazing. 5 billion miles of...
This is so cool.
5 billion miles of helping you stay safe. 5 billion miles of passing the pump. 5 billion miles of... That's 5 billion miles driven around the world. The all-electric 2020 Nissan Leaf.
The extended range 2020 Leaf is now available at Town Nissan, right behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Time now for our weekly feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight, NCWLIFE's Megan McPherson introduces us to Gus, the Husky Mix.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCWLIFE channel. We're here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and Gus is joining us this week. Can you tell us about Gus?
Yeah, Gus, unfortunately we don't know a whole lot about Gus. Gus came to us as a stray. We think he's about 7 years old. He sure is a nice dog. He was recently neutered, so he hasn't joined playgroup yet. But in his kennel, hey buddy, he's pretty mellow. He's easygoing. He likes to walk. He likes his people a lot, so he lights up every time somebody comes by to get him. He really seems to connect with people. And again, we don't know a whole lot about poor Gus here because he came in as a stray. But from our volunteers and our staff here, he's just a pretty easygoing, sweet guy. We think he's a husky mixed. He's not quite full husky, but he has those gorgeous blue eyes, if you would actually look up. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it with Gus.
Okay. What should someone do if they want to adopt him?
They need to call the shelter to make an appointment to come meet Gus. And he is actually ready to go today. He does have a slight cold that he's being treated for, but he has been neutered and he is ready to go. So they just call the shelter at 662-9577 and set up an appointment to meet Gus.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open by appointment only. Call them at 509-662-9577 to schedule a meet and greet or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. But before we get to those details, outside we go as we take a look outside our weather window and we head up north to Okanagan County. Nice and white all throughout Okanagan County. This is our Billy Goat camera looking down where the Methow River joins the Columbia River. Also Brewster and Pateros in your shot. Lots of blue skies. We cleared out nicely here in North Central Washington too. And our high temperatures, boy, they were nice this afternoon. We're seeing a warmer southerly to southwesterly flow right now, and that got our temperature unofficially up to 42 degrees today. That's 11 degrees now above where we should be for this time of year at 31. 27 was our overnight low, and our normal overnight low is 23 degrees. Record high 1998. It was 52 degrees, and for the third consecutive day, boy, 1964 was a cold December, wasn't it? 12 below our record low temperature. Here's our precip from yesterday and that heavy snow and kind of some rain mix that fell last night. 0.28 inches. That now gets our rain total total and precipitation total to 5.50 inches for the year. Sunrise 7:43 this morning, and the sun set once again today at 4:11. Let's take a peek at how our Friday will shape up. Many of you traveling tomorrow for your Christmas plans. Tomorrow might be your best day to do that because it's going to be a wet one as we get into the weekend. Temperatures a lot like today, lower 40s in the Columbia Basin, upper 30s here in the Wenatchee area, mainly because more clouds tomorrow. 38 Cashmere, 38 in Lake Wenatchee, and 36 the high temperature for you folks up in Omak. Taking a look at that surface loop now, let's get right to it. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. It will be mild tonight with lows mainly in the lower 30s, just a slight west breeze tonight. As we get into tomorrow and late tonight, though, here's our next round of storminess as it moves in on Friday. This is about 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So tomorrow during the day, not so bad, but by tomorrow night, a 50% chance of rain. Snow in the Cascades as well for Friday, and it's not going to stop there, folks. Saturday as well at 7 p.m. Heavy downpours of rain in the Cascades in western Washington. We'll see plenty of rain too with the 60% chance of the wet stuff here in north central Washington. And as we move into the end of the weekend, not much is going to change there either. A lot of rain around the Pacific Northwest, cloudy skies throughout the day. But look at this warm flow moving up our way. We are talking temperatures in some areas of Washington in the mid-50s as we get into Sunday. We're going to be plenty warm too. I'll show you that in a second. Monday, the first day of winter, it's going to be cloudy, a 40% chance for maybe a rain-snow mix. You can see more snowflakes on our map for Monday, so it could be a mix for Monday. Slightly cooler too, back down into the upper 30s. For Tuesday, mostly sunny, and that'll be our last day for warm temperatures with highs hovering in the upper 30s, because by the time we get into Wednesday, things are really going to cool down as this air right here takes hold of the western United States. It's an area of high pressure that's dragging this cold air down, and we will see much cooler high temperatures for Wednesday. The good news, it will be mostly sunny, but look at that. High temperatures only in the upper 20s to lower 30s before this next storm system moves our way, and that looks to happen late Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. And tonight, as I mentioned, a much more mild overnight low at 31 degrees. A 50% chance of late afternoon, early evening rain and 39. Same goes for Saturday, except it goes up to 60% on Saturday. Those are mainly evening showers of high temperature of 40. Boy, Sunday, look at that, 44 degrees, maybe even higher. We'll have to wait and see. Good chance for rain then, too. Rain-snow mix for Monday, and then mostly sunny skies and a cooling trend as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. By Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high temperature then of only 32 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
It's the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event going on now at Pat Armstrong Ford. It's the most wonderful time of the year at Pat Armstrong Ford. Our deals are built for joy. Get 0% APR for 60 months on a 2020 Ford Expedition, plus $2,250 trade assist and 90-day deferred payment. Dash in for deals and save by the sleigh load. Unlock your merry today at Pat Armstrong Ford. We are community strong in East Wenatchee.
Shop smart and safe at the Wenatchee Valley Mall. With CCD protocols in place, you can confidently shop in person at your favorite store, and yes, with socially distanced practices, and Santa will be there too. Check out their website for current deals for merchants, Santa hours, and more at Wenatchee Valley Mall.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, independent agent and owner at Springwater Insurance Group here in North Central Washington. And it's that time of year again. October 15th to December 7th, that is the time. If you have a Medicare plan, do I want to keep it or do I want to change it? For any of those questions, give us a call at Springwater Insurance Group because we're independent agents. We don't work with one company, we work with many companies because all of you have different situations and needs. So if you have questions about 2021 Medicare plans, give us a call, 888-2600.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. Seattle travels cross country this weekend to take on the up-and-coming Washington football team. Washington has the 4th-ranked defense in the NFL and has 40 sacks coming into this weekend. Coach Pete Carroll says they provide quite a challenge for Seattle's offense.
Yeah, it's really the whole unit that really makes this thing move. You know, they're just loaded. They're able to play a lot of base defense and be really effective with their 4-man rush, but also how they play the run too. You know, and it's built around those guys, and you know, it's a real challenge to have that kind of quality on the edge. Just makes such a difference, and Jack knows what he's doing with making those guys available for a lot of outside edge type rushing. You know, it's what all the coaches are looking for.
Alex Smith was a 3rd-string quarterback at the start of the season. Now he's Washington's starter and has sparked a run towards the playoffs. Coach Carroll says whether it's Smith or Dwayne Haskins at QB, Seattle's defense will be ready.
Fortunately, we've seen enough of both quarterbacks, and so we have plenty of film. So we know how they've chosen to play with them in championship situations. So that we're clued in. They've got a really cool offense and style about the way they do their thing, and both quarterbacks can manage really well. The difference is Alex has just been around so much longer. He just has so much more background. But both guys are talented, big arms, really quick releases on both guys, and they utilize it.
Over the first 8 games of the season, Seattle's defense was dead last in the NFL, allowing an average of 455 yards per game. Over the last 5 games, Seahawks defense would rank number 1 overall, allowing 285 yards a game, 5th against the run at 98.4 yards, and 1st against the pass at 196. Defensive coordinator Ken Norton Jr. says he and his players just needed to keep the faith.
When you've been in the league a long time, in order to know what good looks like, you got to have bad show up. So that allows you to understand that, okay, this is bad, now let's make sure we stay away from that. But it's just a really strong belief and a really strong understanding of your scheme and your system and your players. Just a whole group of guys working together and allowing the process to happen. Sometimes it happens sooner, sometimes it happens later in our situation, but it happens. But you have to just keep on fighting and keep on coaching and keep on playing right through it.
Linebacker Bobby Wagner says they're finally playing up to their potential, but they won't relax. He says there's still plenty of improvements need to be made.
I think everybody had an expectation of how we were supposed to play, playing the Jets. And it's one thing to have an expectation, it's another thing to go out there and do it. And, that's a professional football team on the other end. And so anytime you hold a team to just 3 points is something that you can, hang your hat on. So I think we're growing every week. We're getting better every week. We're getting more connected every week. So, I think we'll continue doing that. It's going to be fun to watch.
Seattle and Washington kick off from FedEx Field 10 o'clock Sunday morning on Fox. Take a look at the Les Schwab scoreboard in men's college basketball last night. Washington got off to a slow start, could never really get going, and were stunned on their home court, falling to Montana 66-58. It was the first win by Montana over a Husky team since Travis DeCuir, the head coach of Montana, played for Montana back in November of 1994. Grizzlies had 5 players in double figures. Kyle Owens leading the way with 13 points. Husky leading scorer Kade Green had just 4 points last night. Washington dropped to 1-5 on the season. Well, tonight's hockey night on the NCWLIFE channel featuring Wenatchee Wild and the Chilliwack Chiefs. This game is from last February at the Town Toyota Center, a rematch of the team that knocked Wenatchee out of the RBC Cup semifinals back in 2018. Art Checker had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
This cross-corner dump-in is off to the left of Chenard, smacked off the wall, and then Dechorski. He backhands it, leaping though. It's gloved and held in the zone by Moore. Moore in, shot, and he scores. Ooh, nice shot from the right circle. 28 seconds left in power play time. Up top, Bavaro, shot pad, save, rebound, score! Matt Dorsey. Power play goal for the Wild. We're even at a goal apiece. Nick Cherkowski spins into center, drops it off, back across, shot, and a score. Connor Milburn ended up with it. A lot of chatter, but a little bit of a blade shove. Luley gave Reynolds a face wash, and now Penny comes in and they start throwing. Penny trying to get after Luley. Cherkowski continues to battle for it, then loses it to Ormsby. Ormsby up the right side is going to try to get the angle. He's in, he shoots, he scores! Luke Ormsby powering up the right wing. Got a step, cut hard to the front of the net, and just jammed it in home low underneath Karan.
Oh my, tied at 2-2. Tune in tonight, 7 o'clock to find out who wins. Hockey night tonight, followed by high school hoops tomorrow night as Eastmont battles Moses Lake. Grant Olson has the call, 7 for the girls, 8:30 for the boys. And then I'll be courtside at Eastmont for Eastmont and Davis on Saturday. The girls at 2, the boys at 7 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And as we leave you tonight, a Washington State Patrol trooper who helped save a suicidal woman on the Otobashan Bridge in September was presented Washington State Patrol's Life-Saving Award Wednesday by Captain Matt Couchman. Trooper Margaret Tippins and Douglas County Sheriff's Deputy William Black responded to a report at 4:40 p.m. September 28th of a woman on the riverside of the bridge railing who appeared as though she was about to jump. Trooper John Bryant said when the woman was unresponsive, Tippins and Black developed a nonverbal plan that enabled them to pull her back over the railing to safety. Bryant said Anna was taken to Central Washington Hospital and is alive today thanks to the actions of Tippins and Black. Great story there. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. On today's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, it is Better Together, the weekly update from Dr. Malcolm Butler from Columbia Valley Community Health. And of course, he's also the Chief Health Officer for the Chelan Douglas Health District. He does his thing every Friday on this program. He pre-tapes it, asks and answers your questions. So we'll have the latest COVID-19 update from Dr. Butler tomorrow. I'll Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, plus everything you need to start your weekend, the last weekend of autumn as winter comes our way on Monday, December 21st. So join me tomorrow, Friday, 7 a.m., live and local. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And a reminder, with our temperatures below freezing overnight tonight, please be careful tomorrow morning. Making that morning commute could be a little slick out there. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
Experience the difference in Manson at Mountain View Lodge, where you can park and leave your car and your cares behind. Your winter package starts at just $109, featuring treats from the Coffee Cabin at Rio Vista, Wine Girl Wines, and the North Shore Cafe. Call Mountain View Lodge and Resort or book online. Stay the night. Your room is ready.
At this time of the year, when we think about giving, please consider an end-of-the-year donation to the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Although programs are on hold currently, the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center is preparing and distributing hundreds of meals each week to seniors in their homes. The Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center is host to Vibrant Motion, Vibrant Living, a new way to reach the community through television programming. Volunteer, donate, shop, and support your Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.